Hello to all my blerds, nerds, and everything between. Welcome to the Blerd Bites podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Rochie-san. Let's some anime, shall we? Today's bite is Bite 50. Regal Adventures. Top anime that celebrates princes. Number 1. A genius prince's guide to raising a nation out of debt. It's a fantasy comedy. In the country of the kingdom of Natra, the crown prince, also known as Prince Regent, must take over ruling the nation after his father, the king, suffered from illness. The prince is able to keep up the facade of being a strong leader and genius in front of his people, but he is actually stressed out by his new role and would rather commit treason by selling his country to another country. This way, he wouldn't be in charge anymore. Number 2. The Royal Tutor. It's comedy and historical. Heine is a man that sometimes gets confused with being a child. He gets summoned to the royal palace by the king to become the royal tutor for the young princes, Kai, Bruno, Leonhardt, and Leash. The prince's outlandish personalities will make Heine's job even more difficult because every royal tutor before him ended up quitting the job. Number 3. The heroic legend of Arslan. It's fantasy, historical, fantasy, swords and sorcery. The crown prince of the kingdom of Paris, Prince Arslan, is forced to leave his own country after being betrayed by his very own court. He sets out on an adventure to gather allies so he can take back his homeland. Number 4. Ranking of Kings. It's a coming-of-age fantasy comedy. The main character is a little deaf and mute prince named Boji. Many people in his country of Baz don't think that Boji has what it takes to become king. Regardless, Boji does his best and dreams of becoming the best king that ever was. Boji ends up befriending a shadow-like creature that is a survivor of his people's massacre. This new friend, his name is Kage, and Kage has the ability to actually understand Boji. The new best friends go on adventures together and support each other every way they go. Number 5. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince, so I could take my time perfecting my magical ability. This is a fantasy comedy. When a sorcerer without a bloodline meets an untimely death, he gets reincarnated as Prince Lloyd, the 7th prince of the kingdom Sal Oyam. In this new privileged environment, Prince Lloyd can acquire and master any magic he so pleases. He's also assisted by his past memories and past knowledge. He can now live a life full of unrivaled mastery of skills, without the judgment of other people. Number 6. Code Geass. It's alternate history, mecha, and military. The exiled prince of Emperor Charles is Lelouch. His sister, Nanali, lost her sight and ability to walk after witnessing their mother's murder. Lelouch hates his father for not avenging his mother's killer and for failing with his sister. The siblings are sent to Japan to give that government a false sense of security. Lelouch plans on taking down Britannia along with his father, the king, one day. After accidentally getting involved with a terrorist attack, Lelouch is saved by a mysterious girl named Situ. This girl gives him the power called Geass. It gives him the power to command others to do whatever he pleases. And thus, Lelouch's life changed forever as he becomes a vigilante and whatnot. Number 7. Record of Grand Crest War. It's action, fantasy, in a world corrupted by chaos, demons, and natural disasters. Called the Scourge of Chaos. Cosmic misfortune for the people of the land. Known as Lord, a man with The Holy Seal has the power to protect the people from chaos. Under his protection, the people are able to expand their territories. As the level of chaos decreases, the power of crests ends up beginning a new power struggle. Number 8. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. It's adventure, fantasy, romance. After 2 centuries of warring against each other, Demon King Anos decided with the human hero Kanan that he would sacrifice his life in order to bring peace. After being reincarnated, Anos realizes that his descendants are weaker than he thought they'd be. So he decides to reclaim the title as Demon King once again. He ends up being labeled as the Misfit and must first graduate the Demon King Academy before he even tries to become Demon King again. Number 9. Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. It's a coming-of-age, adventure, and fantasy. 14 years ago, a humongous tower appears from the sea. Thousands of adventurers entered but never came out. One day, it gets captured by a Magi and a king. The Magi is Aladdin, who is a traveler that has a genie in his flute, whereas the king, so-called king, is Alibaba, who is a young man that dreams of capturing the dungeon Amon. The two work together along with the genie to capture dungeons as friends and continue to go on many adventures together. Number 10. Nina the Starry Bride. It's fantasy, adventure, romance. Nina is an orphan girl that must masquerade as a boy to conceal for her coveted blue eyes. After she's betrayed by her best friend, she is sold off to slavers. She ends up becoming a stand-in for the deceased Princess Alicia. She becomes close to Prince Azure, as he is the one that has to instruct her on how to become a princess. Things get more complicated as she is sent to another kingdom to become that prince's wife as a bargaining chip. Here are some honorable mentions. The Prince of Tennis, Uta no Prince Sama, Prince of Lights, The Legend of Ramayana, Wolf Girl and Black Prince, Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. And that is all I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to follow me at DA_Blerds on Instagram. Hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. Always remember to embrace your inner blerd. Sayonara!